Eurosonic, Fontaines D.C. You guys are the hottest ticket on the bill, and I know that's a cliche, but it happens to be true as well.
Well, the quantifying fact of the app saying that is there, so I suppose I can't really argue with that. But it's a mad privilege, it's very, very difficult to take in, especially when you're kind of just 5 lads and you're really just having the crack, like, you know what I mean, and you're just like arguing over who eats the last sandwich, like, and stuff like that, and then someone brings in a fact like that a lot of people have booked in to see and stuff like that. It doesn't really change much of what's important within the band. It's always been about writing the tunes, and writing the tunes has been kind of more fun than seeing any of the tunes being kind of like going to number 1 here or whatever, like that kind of crack. So like not much has changed, but it is a lovely thing to hear.
The current single Too Real went number 1 the vinyl charts as well. That's people might say, oh, charts don't reflect as much as they used 2 years ago, but it's a big thing, surely. It
is, yeah. It's a massive pat on the back, but as I said, like it doesn't really measure up to the thrill of actually just writing the tune, like and kind of like looking at each other after we finished it in the studio and being like, yeah, we're happy with that. You know what I mean? That's a bigger high that can, and that kind of thing lasts as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like these other things that kind of come and go, and you can't really trust them or put faith in them. I know you should take them on, and like take everything in as it's happening and stuff like that. But it's just, yeah. I mean, it's secondary to me, is what I'm trying to say. But it is lovely as well,
Do you stop and kind of? I know you said you've kind of referenced this already, and we were talking about earlier on that you kind of. It's only after something passes you realise that was a pretty big deal. But are there moments when you're playing, maybe on stage or in studio, that you realise, hang on a second, we're kind of onto something? And I guess do you have to kind of stop yourself and think, look, remember this is special?
I do, yeah. I think, I attribute my feeling like that to the moment being so sort of profoundly exciting anyway. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm doing any of the legwork to feel like that. I feel like the moment hits you when it's strong enough, So, but luckily enough, we've been subjected to moments like that fairly frequently, relentlessly, really, over the last while, and I can't be grateful enough for that. But like last night we played in Luxembourg. Was it last night? Yeah, it was last night we played in Luxembourg, and the place is sold out, like, and singing really sort of specifically Dublin lyrics, and with Irish colloquialisms to a crowd in Luxembourg, a crowd in Athens and stuff like that. Like every time something like that happens and one person even sings along, it's just like, it's beautiful, because it just feels like the kind of crossing of cultures, and that having been something that you've done,
How does stuff like that happen? I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the band.
Why do people relate to?
Yeah, do you have any ideas? I'm sure you've been accosted by some mad fan going, "This is why I love your music." That's insight, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people who have the bravery to say stuff like that to you are often it's often post show and post very many points or whatever like that. So I kind of don't really take a lot of that at face value a lot of the time. They kind of just sort of say like, "It's real, man." You know what I mean? But I think I was thinking, that quote that Joyce has about Dubliners when he says, "In the particulars contain the universal." I think it's kind of having understood one particular kind of facet of a culture inside and out, like I believe we do to an extent with Dublin. That once you've kind of understood that and to the point where you can sort of breathe it and exhale it as well. I think people really relate to that because it's just so sort of specific and true, and I think that's what it is. I think people kind of relate to colloquialisms anyway, which is funny because like colloquialisms are like kind of the most universal thing in a way, Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you've released singles. This is the first single. Too Real is the first single you released on a label. I mean, is there? Have you got plans for what you're going to do next? Is it an EP? Is it another single, or is it the elephant in the corner for many people? Is it an album?
Yeah, we have an album coming out around April. We're going to do another single in between now and then. We've already mastered the album. We recorded it with Dan Hegarty in London, in Streatham, in his gaff actually. Lovely gaff, like a lovely family, and they cooked us dinner and everything. It was really, really nice. But Yeah, that's the next plan. I think between now and then we're touring so much that we're just fighting for a bit of time to finish album 2 before album 1 comes out, because we don't really want that to be hanging over our heads, you know. We kind of want to be a step ahead of that as it happens, like, you know. And we kind of want to remain like fit enough as writers as well, you know. No matter what happens, like in between now and then, and the kind of obligations that, you know, you have to fulfill. Like there has to be that space to write, you know. So that's all I'm really thinking about, you know. Like whenever we receive a bit of news about you know, how something's going, like our ticket sales for this and that, like, and you know, even if it's really positive news, all it makes me do is kind of like, you know, start to itch for writing, you know, because that's really where my head lies, you know.
Well, look, there is going to be a very lengthy queue outside this venue very shortly. There may be one there already, because there's more people who are planning on going to this than the venue can hold. So I better let you kind of just chill out, relax, and get ready for that, you know.
So man, you're welcome to join us, as I said.
I will. I'll be there. I'll be there in the crowd. Maybe not the front, but somewhere in the middle.
Okay, so I'm sure I'll still see you anyway.
Thanks a million.
Sound done.